versus Jiren fight gets worst ratings in Dragon Ball Super history. So the fight that got all of our juices going, right, as Goku got a brand new transformation, Ultra Instinct mode, Japan wasn't feeling it. They weren't feeling Jiren just putting his arm out, making a joke out of Goku. They weren't feeling it. They were tuning out of it. They saw this fight and they clicked off. So for those of you who don't exactly know what I am talking about, I am actually talking about TV ratings / viewership, right? For instance, I used to talk about Toonami ratings. During the Toonami block, every single show gets a certain amount of viewers and it's translated over to a number. Now, you'd think that with all the promotion they spent for the Goku versus Jiren fight, that this would be one of the things that maybe even non-Dragon Ball Super fans are coming to watch. And what do I mean by non-Dragon Ball Super fans? I mean the people who watch DBZ as a kid. They hear all this hype surrounding Goku versus Jiren, all their friends are telling them about it, so let's just tune in, right? That's the kind of mentality I think some people would have. But no, forget this being something that actually draws people in. I'm talking about something that people are tuning out of compared to stuff at the beginning of Dragon Ball Super when they were giving us rehash arcs in crappy animation. Those crappy animated arcs of material we already got was actually performing better or performed better than Goku versus Jiren. So let's take a look at this article, guys, because I'm almost at a loss of words, because as somebody who was jizzing out of my penis, alright, watching this fight, I just have a hard time believing that the Japanese weren't feeling the same way watching it. And I do have some ideas as to why this is the case. And there is one factor that I am not talking about that kind of could explain why they lost some viewers. But I don't believe that they would lose enough viewers to explain the kind of losses we actually saw during the Goku vs. Jiren premiere in Japan. The highly anticipated fight in Dragon Ball Super has arrived and departed within almost over 1 week. Did I read that wrong? Maybe it's departed with almost over 1 week. Anyways, from crashing Crunchyroll servers, and guys, if you remember, Saturday night when the Goku vs. Jiren premiere came out, like, I was wondering, I was refreshing the page like every 5 minutes, like, what is going on here? Because usually Crunchyroll, at times, they have issues, right? The episode takes a little bit longer. Well, it just so happened to be that so many people were tuning in that, like, the servers were overloaded and it just crashed the site. Like, that's pretty crazy stuff, man. That shows you how popular it is in the West, because Crunchyroll is one of the platforms people are watching anime on. It's the future of anime, right? The future of anime is online. So from crashing Crunchyroll servers to budgeting out for the 1 hour special, the turnout for the Dragon Ball Super didn't go as well as people expected in Japan. Let's continue. Even though it was big news here in the West, United States, the receive wasn't as high in Japan where the episode came out originally, right? Because they take the episode on television and they start streaming it online a little bit later. Dragon Ball Super, the series, usually generates around 6 million views every episode that passes. However, the turnout for Dragon Ball Super episodes 109 and 110 did not receive the views it had anticipated for the amount of hype that the episodes were building up. This should be 10 million. It should be 10 million, okay? Especially as a 1 hour special. So the amount of views it received was around 3 million, which isn't bad in terms of series as a whole. However, for Dragon Ball Super, this is a bad rating. In fact, this is officially the worst rating ever in the Dragon Ball franchise as a whole. Oh, definitely not the anticipation the studio or the network was expecting, as this was a major moment in the series. Specifically because Goku was going to be transforming into a brand new form never before seen, as well as the promo around this form. The reason for this low rating has to do with the time frame the special aired. So this is one of the big factors I was referring to at the beginning of the video. Apparently there was another popular show happening during the same time frame in Japan at the moment, and more people were tuned into that as a result instead of watching Dragon Ball Super. I want to ask some questions because I got some questions. What was Toei thinking then? Alright, what they should have done is they should have told that other company that aired that special or whatever other anime or whatever other series or show was airing at the same time slot, they should have bought them out. They should have told them, like, Goku vs. Jiren, the most important thing, everybody in Japan, from the little kids to the baby mamas to the grandmothers, they're going to be tuning in to watch this. And I don't care what anybody says, this is performing lower than some of the stuff at the beginning of Dragon Ball Super. like Goku SS3 versus Beerus, and crappy animation. Like, this makes absolutely no sense. So this cannot be the only reason why this performed so bad in Japan. And as a Dragon Ball Super fan, it's hard for me to say that, but that's just the facts. I think the only way we could explain this being half of what Dragon Ball Super does at other times, like, for instance, an article came out a couple of months ago that said that the Dragon Ball Super anime had surpassed the One Piece anime in ratings, like certain weeks in the summer of this year. And what was going on during Dragon Ball Super at that time? Well, the recruitment stuff, right? Getting Frieza on our team. When Frieza was announced, the Japanese were just like, yeah. And I think that partially has to do with the nostalgia, right? A lot of us were excited about Frieza's return because we didn't really know how things were gonna go. Like, it was a big mystery card. We didn't know Frieza's intentions. But does that excuse Goku versus Bergamo or Gohan versus Lavender outdoing or at the very least matching the Goku versus Jiren fight? It really does not, and I don't care if there was something else at the same time that cut this a bit up, because the views should have been way more with all the promotion they put behind this fight, with the mystery behind Jiren, with the new transformation. This is the climax of this arc. The arc that got the Japanese super excited when Frieza was announced to be on our team. I don't know, maybe they don't like Jiren as a character because the stuff with Kale, Caulifla, like the Universe 6 Saiyans, that actually outperformed this fight. Very weird, right? So what is it? Do they just not like Jiren? And I don't blame for the Japanese not really caring for Jiren because he was just there like in the background. He barely appeared, he barely said anything, but wasn't that also the mystery behind Jiren? And we still don't really know everything about him. He didn't use all of his powers, right? And if he does use all of his powers, there's a chance that he might be able to like drop a couple of God of Destruction's bodies. Like, we don't even know the full extent of this guy's powers. But for instance, the Clown God of Destruction is talking like Jiren could kick his ass, right? So I don't know if it's that they don't like Jiren as a character. Maybe they don't like the way Goku got the transformation, you know, absorbing the spirit bomb and then, you know, breaking his inner shell or whatever, being completely depleted of energy. Maybe they just felt like that was a BS explanation. Otherwise, what would explain this material doing worse than some of the stuff at the beginning of Dragon Ball Super? I don't know, guys. Leave your thoughts down below. I'm at a loss of words. How in the summertime, with Frieza's recruitment, with Android 17's recruitment, with the exhibition matches, like, the Dragon Ball Super was beating out the most popular manga series of all time, One Piece, and yet this, that got all of us excited, we were saying that this is the best stuff Dragon Ball Super has provided us yet. The Japanese were like, nah, we don't care about this. Get this out of my face. You know, I really do hope that this does not affect the future of the Dragon Ball story, because I would love 100 more episodes, multiple arcs, expansion of the universe, maybe a fight against the Grand Priest or the gods, you know, Goku climaxing, other power limits, you know, Vegeta getting new powers. I'd love to see so much more. And if the show starts to get underfunded and Toei starts to get lazy with the promotion, lazy with the fights, because in their mind, okay, if we just spent all of this time and energy promoting the Goku vs. Jiren fight and no one cared, well, what are we going to do? Because that didn't work. Do we have to under-promote it? But maybe we'll save more money if we under-promote it, right? That's the mentality they're going to start to have as a business, and that's scary. They could start buying the episodes cheaper en masse, and it could just drop in quality. So let's keep our fucking fingers crossed, guys. I am still optimistic because Dragon Ball Super is still such a popular franchise.